Page 3. Friday, August 26th, 2005. On moonless nights the men and boys of Jabla, a dusty fishing town on the coast of Syria, would gather their lanterns and set out in their quietest boats. 5 or 6 small craft, 2 or 3 fishermen in each. A mile out they would arrange the boats in a circle on the Black Sea, drop their nets, and holding their lanterns over the water, they would approximate the moon. The fish, sardines, would begin gathering soon after, a slow mass of silver rising from below. The fish were attracted to plankton, and the plankton were attracted to light. They would begin to circle, a chain linked loosely, and over the next hour their numbers would grow. The black gaps between their silver links would close until the fisherman could see, below, a solid mass of silver spinning. Abdul-Rahman Zeitoun was only 13 when he began fishing for sardines this way, a method called lampara, borrowed from the Italians. He had waited years to join the men and teenagers on the night boats, and he'd spent those years asking questions. Why only on moonless nights? Because, his brother Ahmed said, on moon-filled nights the plankton would be visible everywhere, spread out all over the sea, and sardines could see and eat the growing organisms with ease. But without a moon, the men could make their own, and could bring the sardines to the surface in stunning concentrations. You have to see it, Ahmed told his little brother. You've never seen anything like this. And when Abdul-Rahman first witnessed the sardines circling in the black, he could not believe the sight, the beauty of the undulating silver orb below the white and gold lantern light. He said nothing, and the other fishermen were careful to be quiet too, paddling without motors lest they scare away the catch. They would whisper over the sea, telling jokes and talking about women and girls, as they watched the fish rise and spin beneath them. A few hours later, once the sardines were ready, tens of thousands of them glistened in the refracted light. The fishermen would cinch the net and haul them in. They would motor back to the shore and bring the sardines to the fish broker in the market before dawn. He would pay the men and boys, and would then sell the fish all over western Syria, Latakia, Banias, Damascus. The fishermen would split the money, with Abdul-Rahman and Ahmed bringing their share home. Their father had passed away the year before, and their mother was of fragile health and mind, so all funds they earned fishing went toward the welfare of the house they shared with 10 siblings. Abdul-Rahman and Ahmed didn't care much about the money, though. They would have done it for free. 34 years later and thousands of miles west, Abdul-Rahman Zeitoun was in bed on a Friday morning, slowly leaving the moonless Jabla night, a tattered memory of it caught in a morning dream. He was in his home in New Orleans, and beside him he could hear his wife Kathy breathing, her exhalations not unlike the shushing of water against the hull of a wooden boat. Otherwise the house was silent. He knew it was near 6 o'clock, and the peace would not last. The morning light usually woke the kids once it reached their second-story windows. One of the 4 would open his or her eyes, and from there the movements were brisk, the house quickly growing loud. With one child awake, it was impossible to keep the other 3 in bed.